Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at something a little bit light but a little bit dark. No, I'm not mixing a stout and an IPA together. That'd be a black IPA, and to be honest that would be gross. This is a dark lager from Utopian Brewing. Now Utopian, I believe, or a British brewery, I believe they're somewhere in England, and I also believe that they only make lager. I will clarify all of these points as we go along, of course, but yeah, I'm pretty confident these guys are lager only, which is interesting because on more than one occasion I have said that, well, the UK and England in particular aren't really that good at brewing lager, so it's a brave move. And what I'm also going to try and answer today is, well, firstly, is dark lager any good? Now, as a little bit of an aside, I'm a big fan of dark lager, or at least one dark lager in particular, and that is Budvar Dark. Anyone who's had it will know it's kind of super refreshing but creamy, has a butteriness, but also remains very much a lager-like beer to enjoy. We need to answer the question, is this as good or even better than that? Can it compete? So that's going to be something I'm going to be looking to answer a little later as well. So before we get into it then, here's a quick look at the can. Standard Utopian styling, just kind of has their brewery name wrapped around the can in a pretty so kind of singular colour can design there, just with black and white details, that gorgeous deep red can art, and they just call it dark lager. Let's get into it. I'll be using this freshly washed Brewtoon lager glass for this one. Right off the bat then, this isn't what I was expecting. In the glass, it's, to be honest, bitter coloured, or even red ale. It looks slightly darker on camera than it does in real life, and yeah, it's got a proper orange-red hue about it. It's not properly dark like the Budvar Dark is. The other thing I noticed is that whilst it poured crystal clear to start with, actually the little bit at the end of the can, there was a lot of sediment in, which is just surprising for a lager, I think it's fair to say. But, you know, it's got a solid one and a bit, nearly 2-finger white head on it, and there's a good amount of carbonation running at the glass. Yeah, take a look, because it looks decent. Aromas then. Very sweet, very malty, almost a bit of red, subtle, sweet berry flavour. It's reminding me, I almost don't want to say it because it's going to put people off, but if you, I don't want to say it, if you took the complementary parts of the very untasteful Desperados red beer, which is horrible, so I'm not saying it's like that, but it's got that refreshing lager character, but with just a hint of red berry, is really all I'm trying to say. It's, yeah, forget that analogy, it's bad. The proof will be in the pudding, so let's give it a go. Cheers. Thankfully, it tastes nothing like Desperados Red. It's quite big, if that is a word I can use to describe beer. It's got big character. There's strong flavours in there. I have had one other from Utopian Brewing. I haven't reviewed it, and to be honest, I was slightly underwhelmed. I think it was their British Pilsner from memory, and I don't know, it just left me going, you could have done a lot more with that, and there's just nothing in there. This, on the other hand, has absolutely heaps of flavour and character. So, top to bottom taste test to see exactly what they are. Initially, good amount of carbonation, mild sweetness right at the front of the tongue. Second phase, sweetness stays really up front. It is very sweet, dessert, red berry, summer fruits vibes. Then you hit that kind of standard splash, flavour crash thing mid part of the tongue on the swallow, and it spritzes up, and you start to get some malt character, a little bit of hoppiness, not a lot. And at that point, you're properly into lager territory. There's nothing overly strong about it, but there's a good malt base, it's refreshing, and all is well in the world. But then, right on the back end, heaps of caramel. Not sweet caramel, slightly roasty. I'm not going to say cinder toffee like I do for a lot of beers. It's not that deep or fiery, but it's got just a nice caramel malt flavour that really sticks around in the back, and a few of those berry notes start to come back in, and you're back into, and I've said it about a couple of odd lagers in the past, but you can start to get a little bit of berries and shortbread kind of a vibe. Clotted cream shortbread, bit of berries, kind of, I don't know, very Scottish summer thing. This isn't a Scottish beer as far as I'm aware, but that's not bad at all. Not bad at all. Right, let's take a look at the can. On the front of the can then, as you've already seen, it's Utopian Dark Lager. What is that image? It's a picture of a woman with some sort of gardening implement, or is it a trident with some connecting braces? I'm not quite sure. Let me show you what I'm talking about so you don't think I'm going mad. There she is. She's got the wheel of a cart, she's got a cow, a lion, a bird of prey, a can of beer, some other foliage, and along the bottom of it it says, "If others can't see it as I have seen it, then it may be called a vision rather than a dream." William Morris. I mean, it's a nice quote. It's a nice quote. Along the bottom it says, "Naturally brewed with 100% British ingredients." It is 5.4%, so it's a little feistier than your average lager, but just a bit. And on the back, Utopian Brewing. Utopian Dark Lager is our interpretation of the Bavarian Dunkel style. We brew this lager with British dark malts and a traditional double decoction, new word for me, mash, teasing out a banquet of caramelized nuts and bread crust. Yes. A slow, low temperature fermentation over 4 weeks of cold lagering resulting in a beer which pours a rich amber with a malt complexity and exceptional drinkability. Nutty, rich and full-bodied, unfiltered and beautifully balanced. This is a time for a Vienna comeback. Nailed on the head, boys, with that one. With that description, that is spot on. Didn't mention the berries, but maybe I'm confusing my berries and my nuts again. That's an odd phrase. Brewed with all British ingredients, water, malted barley, hops and yeast. It is brewed by Utopian Brewing Limited, who are in Devon. So definitely in the UK and definitely in England. Usual drinkerware stuff, 2.37 UK units in this can. Utopianbrewing.com, at Team Utopian on the socials. That is a cracking beer, to be honest. Let me just come back to it all in all. The reason it's hazy is because it is unfiltered, which... it's not can conditioned, it's just got all the extra bits of goodness floating around in there, and that I can appreciate. I'm not sure how true it is to the Vienna style, the Vienna lager, the Dunkel. It's certainly on the way, and it doesn't really matter, to be honest, because that much sweetness, that much robustness, and still retaining that lager, thirst-quenching summer drink. Well, that's what I'm missing in my life right now, to be honest. All I want is lager-like beers because it's red hot outside. And yeah, I'm fed up with lager with no taste. So, nail on the head, Utopian. Thank you very much. And that really is all I've got to say about it. So as always, thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it. If you haven't already, subscribe if you'll be so kind. And I'll catch you next time. Cheers.